This is Matt Sutton and Mike Miller of M&M Barbecue Company, and this is the Black Smoke Barbecue Podcast.
Welcome to Black Smoke Barbecue. We are a collaborative group that focuses on different aspects of barbecue from pitmasters from all across North America. Barbecue is a culture, and we discuss topics, ideas, and the methods of it on the Black Smoke Barbecue Podcast. Our mission is to spotlight those lesser-known content creators in backyard barbecue, catering, food truck operations, as well as the African-American experience in modern-day barbecue. Sit back, relax, listen, and enjoy the show.
All right, everybody, we are live and welcome back to the Black Smoke Barbecue Podcast. I'm your host, Brandon from BKC Cooks. We have some very special guests. And y'all, look, this is a part of our Pit Builder series here on the Black Smoke Barbecue Podcast. So we got a series of pit builders, some really cool guys, and you don't want to miss what they have to say about what's going on in the world of barbecue, y'all. We have a very, very special guest, but I'm going to start with the fellas from the crew. We'll see who's on the panel today. We'll start with our editor and producer in chief, mastermind extraordinaire, Charlie from Maverick Barbecue. Charlie, what's going on?
Oh my, so much kind words. Hey, how you doing, man? How you doing?
I'm in a bullshitting mood, so I'm shooting all them kind words to you, man.
Oh,
how you been,
man.
brother?
I'm doing great, man. Glad to be on the pod tonight. Glad to be a part of the conversation we're about to have, and glad to chop it up with my bros. So, hey, how you doing?
Man, I'm good, man. You know, been traveling a little bit, doing a few things, man. I'm golden, bro.
Yeah. Hey, you been to Compton?
I was in Compton. Yes, I was.
Tell us about that.
I was out there for a friend of the podcast, my brother Kevin Bloodsoe. He had a big event out there. Compton is his hometown, and he had the first ever barbecue festival there in Compton called Smoking Out the Hub, and it was a great success, man. It was 2 days. First day was a VIP dinner. Second day was the big event for, everybody who came. And, man, it was a damn good time. Great food, great people, great chefs and pit masters. And, I think the thing's going to get bigger and better, y'all. So check out, Smoking Out the Hub for 2025, y'all. You're going to want to hit that one.
For sure, man. I like those videos.
Dude, I had a good time recording. Everybody
Looks
was
like
really
it.
nice to me, man. I walked up, people were like, hey, come on. People were welcoming. And yeah, man, it was a really good time. Really good time.
I want to be like you when I grow up.
You'll regret it. You'll regret it.
I want it.
Next up, we got Alton from Dogfather's Barbecue. Al, what's going on, bro? Welcome back Welcome back to the United States.
Here you go, man.
Welcome home.
Hey, man, I'm glad to be here, man. I missed you, brothers, and but I know you've been holding it down. I've been listening to the last episode, and man, it was an awesome episode. And I was like, damn, why did I miss that episode, man? But
Yeah.
I'm back tonight.
I hated missing it too, bro. But hey, that's why we got the crew, man. Brother sure enough held it down, man. I saw you was making up about 80 pounds of bacon the other day. You didn't invite me for a single strip, but that's neither here nor there. How'd your bacon turn out, man?
Oh man, I'm sure it turned out well. We got it sliced up and packaged up and bag sealed, put in the freezer, and we had to go ahead and make some bacon. We ran out of bacon, and that's just kind of blasphemous around here, so I had to make some.
Understood.
But yeah, man, we've been out on the road doing a little vacation time and all that, and came back. And the first day here, I was going through withdrawal, so I had to fire up the grill and get some. You're gonna hear this right when I say this. I know you're gonna think I'm lying, but I actually made some lamb chops again, bro.
They got a hold of you.
Okay, God.
Hey, he working, ain't he?
For all those who are keeping count, 3 months ago, this brother supposedly despised the lamb. He's added about 10 times in the last 2 months.
Nah, hold on.
But I'm not keeping count.
Nah, it hasn't been 10 times, but I found out something that's very interesting, and maybe people out there that, don't have that, thing for lamb. I found out, man, that there's a difference when you have wool lamb versus short hair lamb. And the wool lamb, has that lanolin that's in the wool. And so it gets more into the meat. And so you have that lanolin flavor that kind of gets into the meat and gives it more of a gamey flavor. on the wool lambs. The short hair lambs is less because obviously they don't have as much hair. So they don't have as much of that lanolin flavor that gets into the meat. And so it just so happens that I guess I've gotten a hold of some short hair lamb and it's been pretty good for me. So I'm not going to say I'm a lamb eater just yet, but I'm something like it.
Man, you know, you the fanciest barbecue brother in the land, man. You're getting Iberico pork, a short hair lamb, and where does it end, man?
I don't know. Maybe with the M&M smoker. I don't know.
Hey, you'll be at the top then.
Hey, you see what I did there, right?
M&M has entered the chat.
Yep.
We are here.
And next up, and certainly not last, we got our resident poet T from T-Dub Barbecue. T, what's going on, man?
What's happening, man? Nothing much. How you?
Man, I'm good. You've been on a tear with these cooks lately, man. You had that jerk rocking.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna say I was hating, but I was quite jealous. Quite jealous.
Yeah, jerk chicken is just one of those things that I love. And man, I was going to get some leg quarters, but my wife was like, let's do some thighs. I was like, just thighs? She was like, yeah. I was like, hey, why not? So I did my thing. I smoked them. I did like I think it was like two days worth of marinade and smoked them. And then I, threw them over the fire a little bit. That skin was crisp. The flavor was all the way through the bone.
I was gonna say, man, if you did that 2 days, that jerk was down to the bone, man.
Yeah, man. My wife made some coconut rice. We had some black beans, not the traditional beans, but we had some black beans with it and some cabbage. It was a good time.
It sound like a damn good time, man. What's your next cook, bro?
Depends on my time. I really want a tri-tip. It's been a very long time since I had a tri-tip. So I'm going to have to probably go to a butcher that I haven't been to and find one because I've been fiending a tri-tip. If I can't get my hands on a tri-tip, then it'll probably be some lamb burgers. I got some ground lamb. I don't know what type of hair, the lamb has, but I have some ground lamb in the freezer. So it might be some lamb burgers.
Make sure you get some short hair.
Right.
We know someone that has some.
Here come the joke. Here come the jokes.
I mean, that's nothing I do. I appreciate the information. I don't know how I can, apply that to actually buying it, but that would explain why some pizzas are gamier than others.
Man, see, I was just trying to help people out.
That did help.
Brandon over here. Hey, but I will say this, T, because that's an excellent point, because I thought the same thing. And from what I've been told is that in most places, the short hair lamb is what you'll find at farmers markets, and those types of things. But I will say the racks that I've been buying, I have bought from Costco, and those have worked out pretty well. I don't know if those are short hair lamb or if they did some treatment to them. I don't know.
Delicious.
But they've been working out. Yeah, they've been working out for it. Yep. Especially for me. I got to put a little pepper jelly on it because, like I said, I'm not all the way there in the lamb, but I'm getting there. I'm something like a lamb eater.
You trying to say that those lambs have a luxurious mane, something like mine? Is that what you're trying to say,
Lord.
bro?
Hey, so moving on.
Couldn't resist.
I had to get it in there, y'all. I had to get it in there. Well, y'all, again, this is the Black Smoke Barbecue Podcast, where barbecue is not just the code we live by, but it's the culture we embody. And like I said, y'all, we have two very special guests with us, y'all. These fellas are at the very pinnacle of barbecue, and not from the cooking side, but from the equipment side. These brothers are pit builders, and they make some of the finest pits in the land. We're going to tell you a little bit about them. Collectively, they have over 30 years in the barbecue business. They are located in Toole, Texas. That's where their shopping company is. And they have been best friends for a very long time. They grew up in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. They build some of the most amazing pits you will ever see, some of the most amazing pits you'll ever put your eyes on. They've built pits for a lot of the names places like Goldie's, Interstellar here in Austin, Burnt Bean down in Seguin, and for some of the best in the business, including Kevin Blutso, who we mentioned earlier, and my man Big Mo Kason, just to name a few, y'all. We're going to get these brothers in, man. We're going to get right into what's going on with them, y'all. This is Mike and Matt from M&M Barbecue. Jeff, fellas, what's going on?
What's going on? How are you?
Good to have y'all here, man.
we're excited to be a part of it, man. We're excited to talk barbecue, talk pits.
I'm just happy to be out of the heat and sitting in air conditioning.
I'm sure you are, man. I'm sure you are.
We're talking about lamb, short-hair lamb.
Yeah. Old fancy lamb having folks, man. I tell you. What's the world coming to?
Man, you keep it up, Brandon. I'm going to have to give you that Sha'Carri Richardson look.
Luxury lamb. Luxury lamb.
Everything's working out perfect with the previous peasant talk. And come on in.
Yes.
Come on in with the lamb.
I guess it would have been all right if I was saying we were eating iguana then, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
A little lower down on the scale.
For those of y'all that don't understand what we're talking about, you have to catch that on the Black Smoke after dark.
Correct. Correct.
Yep.
So, Mike and Matt, I'm gonna come out, man. I'm coming out both guns blazing. Y'all are at the pinnacle when it comes to pits and any type of grills or anything like that. Did y'all imagine y'all would be at this point right now?
For us, we're just trying to build the baddest pits that we can. We're trying to solve customer problems. We've been in this for a long time. So, our number one goal is to make sure that anything that we see, issues that we see, that we can make the best pit possible for our customers. So we look at it as we're having fun. Known this man for 30 years, and we're blessed to be able to get to do what we do what we love. And man, I'm telling you, it's a fun ride, and we got a lot more fun things coming. I can say that.
The entire thing was born out of service, really. It's the whole premise of M&M. Everything we build and design, aside from the visual aspects of it, is about solving problems for our customers and businesses. And it's kind of funny. Do you guys ever imagine y'all be here? Like, really, no, in the beginning, like, we just wanted to start building quality equipment for restaurants because of Mike and his dad's background. And I'd say it was probably 2 or 3 years in before we really were like, okay, now I know 100% what we're after and what we're going. And it's, we're shooting for the freaking moon. So yeah, we imagine it now, but we didn't in the beginning. That's for sure.
And I know y'all a little bit. And so I know y'all won't put yourselves there at the top, but, I'll say it for you. I'll take the heat on that.
Get ready. Get ready, buddy. Get ready.
Oh, I don't. Come on.
They're going to be coming after you, big dog. They're going to be coming after you. Be careful.
Come on. Well, I tell you what. Let's talk all the way about it. Alton and I both cooked on one of y'all's 1000s down there with Brother Bill. We did the sausage class. Brother Bill Dumas, my man. And, that thing, it was running like a sewing machine. And I know that there is a subset of politics with pit builders. And, I would never drag y'all into naming names or anything like that. But when you say they're coming for me, I believe that. But why do you think there's so much friction when everybody can just do their own thing?
Ooh, that's a good question.
You mean to start it?
Yeah, go ahead. I'll bounce off of you.
There's multiple things. One, we don't really get into the politics of it. Like, in my opinion, I don't really, half the guys we've had any quote unquote issues with, I've never met, or I've met once or twice. So I'm personally, I tell Mike all the time, I'm focused on home and my business and what we're doing. I'm not worried about what other people are doing. If I was to take a shot at it, it's a lot of things. It's an old school mentality. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And we are innovators, and we came in and are trying to solve problems that I don't think a lot of people are trying to solve. And it rubs some people the wrong way. You start changing things and messing with things, and this is how they've always worked. Some people have issues with it. I don't understand it. I believe strongly, like, innovation, competition just breeds innovation. Someone else comes up with something and things just only get better for the end user. So
absolutely.
Well, guys, here, Alton here from the Dogfather's Barbecue. And I just want to say, man, I know a lot of people look at you and they call you pit makers. And I understand it. But in my, eyes, y'all are fabricators. There's a little bit more to it. You guys, as well as being innovative, the execution, that you guys do on your products, man, are just phenomenal. And as Brandon said, we got to work on one of your pits out there at Schultz's pit room or whatever, and we had a great time. I've also gotten to cook on one of your pits with our brother J Bones Bar and Grill over at Treaty Oak.
Yeah.
And we got to play around on one of your pits, and man, I tell you that, as Brandon said, that thing, man, once you got it up to temp and got it low, that thing just hummed along. I mean, we didn't really have to do anything to it. It was just an awesome experience working on a pit like that. But my question is this: you guys make all of these fantastic products, and you see them in, this restaurant, that restaurant. You see these big name guys, Big Mo, Kason, and so forth, working on these pits. Let's talk about the average guy out there that wants to get some sort of M&M, pit in their backyard. How do they go about potentially making something like that happen with you guys?
Yeah, this is actually perfect timing. We're going to be launching our backyard on the 19th. It's kind of a pre-launch. We have a few of them that we've built right now, about 10 of them that we've built. The backyard offset, sorry. If we're talking about are we talking about the backyard offset or the rotisserie? Because
either or, whichever.
Okay. Well, we'll start with the offset. That one's coming soon. So, which is funny because really both of them are about what people don't know is we built both the backyard rotisserie and the backyard offset about 3 years ago. And it's something that we anticipated launching a long time ago. We didn't really anticipate how fast, our commercial lines were growing. And again, we've gotten to work with some of the best people all over the country, and that in itself is an honor, and, being able to do that. But that kind of shelved some of our backyards, because we had to make sure that we focus on quality control, that we're also innovating the whole time that we're doing that. So, both of them have been built for about 3 years. And so, we're really excited to, be launching our backyard, offset in about 5 or 6 days. And what we've done is, what Matt always says all the time, that it's meant to be, we weren't meant to launch that then, we're meant to launch it now. And what we've learned over the last 3 years, the innovations that we've done on our big pits, we've been able to actually slim that down and really apply them to our backyards. And we didn't just do a standard backyard. We've actually applied the exact same type of what we've done in our 1,000 gallons all the way down to our 100 gallons. I mean, we fit 7 briskets in that bad boy from end to end, and it cooked like a top. It ran just like our 1,000 gallons.
Dude, that's awesome to hear, because man, that excite. I get excited. Everybody always, they got the jokes about all the barbecue grills and stuff that reside here on Barbecue Boulevard, but I just love, playing around on different pits, and not really knowing what I'm going to cook, and then figuring out, okay, I want to make this. Well, what do I want to cook it on? Well, I don't know if I want to do live fire. Let's smoke something. I don't want to do it on this grill. Well, you know what? Let me pray. I like having the different options. Okay. And I get asked all the time. People are always asking, what kind of grill they should get. And I always tell people, well, you have to identify what kind of cook you are first. If this is what you want to do and you want to tinker with fire and do an offset, then cool. If you just want to do something hot and fast and you want to grill on, a kettle or whatever it is. So I know a lot of people may not understand the differences when we're talking about rotisseries and offsets and whatever. So, and not trying to sway people to go this way or that way, but can you kind of educate us on the differences between the offset and your rotisseries and how they work and in sizing and that type of thing?
Yeah, sure can. You want me to go?
Yeah. Well, so here, we'll probably go back and forth between us.
Yeah.
To start with the offset we're about to launch, like you said, that started about 3 years ago. It's going to be, with the tech that's in it, it's probably 99 gallons. So for your typical backyard person, it's a pretty big grill. If you're not serious about smoking food, the tank itself is 50 inches. It's got a 28-inch firebox, but it has all of our commercial tech in it. Like, you can literally cook end to end, firewall to firewall. So if you're serious about smoking meat, or you just want to learn smoking meat, it's extremely forgiving. It's not like a typical offset that just feeds in low. That's gonna, you can't really cook close to the firebox. but it's a serious smoker. But it's probably, in my opinion, it's probably going to be the most forgiving offset you can buy.
Yep.
And then the rotisserie, the backyard rotisserie that it's literally been in development for probably 4 years now.
Yeah.
And the first one, Mark 1, has been an absolute success. So we're actually in the process of trying to get that ready for like Q1 or Q2 next year. Now that we know the few things we need to refine on it, that's going to be a much higher tier, but it's as legit of a micro commercial wood fire rotisserie that is as easy and user friendly as a pellet smoker. Really.
Yeah, and it uses all 100% all natural wood. So you're going to be able to use the bigger logs, the same thing that you would use in even our big ones. We've actually taken the exact same actuator motors, the exact same equipment that we've done in our Zeus, our massive Zeus or 2000. It's basically shrunk down into that. And the backyard rotisserie, it's a step above an offset. So the backyard offset's wonderful. It's great. But once you get into this backyard rotisserie, it's just that next level. You're going to be able to load it up with wood and not have fans, not have heater elements or anything like that. So you're still going to be able to get that traditional style. You're going to be able to get those traditional flavors that you typically have in an offset, but you're not having to babysit it every single minute of every single, like where you can actually enjoy a little bit of your day while it's running. And the thing about the offset, the rotisseries too, is you typically get higher yields off of a rotisserie compared to an offset because the temperatures don't vary as much as even a standard offset, even our offset. So that temperature flow, if you do it on a chart, instead of it kind of being up and down like what you would have on a standard offset, it's going to be way more static. So you're not going to have those fluctuations that you would on a standard offset. And also too, standard offset, it's basically you have your fire going in, and then it's even with our flow, it's a double bypass system that goes in and then it flows through the meat. Where our rotisseries are very similar. It goes in, offset, goes in, comes in, and then there's a flue. We call that the lungs of the unit. And so what it does, it tumbles around your meat and then comes back out of the flue. And so just the way that it rotates and the way that it self-spaced, it's next level.
Okay. Sounds like it's very well thought out. I can definitely appreciate that. But for those that, again, that aren't well versed in barbecue pits and how big they are and this and that, we just mentioned your offsets about 100 gallons and you can put 6-7 briskets in there. When we're talking about the rotisserie, like how many racks are in this thing and how many briskets would you estimate a backyard cooker can put on there?
Yeah, so the footprint as far as our rotisserie, our backyard rotisserie is you can get 4 briskets on it. So it's almost roughly half the amount of briskets that you'll be able to get from our backyard offset.
But just a lot more efficient though, I guess, for as you're cooking and that sort of thing.
Yeah, 100%. And also the backyard rotisserie, the entire goal of the first one and what we're doing is to build as compact of a package as humanly possible.
Yep.
So if you've heard, our MM240 is the step up from the backyard, and that's about 16 briskets.
It'll fit 16 briskets.
Yeah.
Yep.
And also, in the backyard too, I would bet you could even get more than that. If you have really nicely trimmed, smaller USDA briskets, you might be able to, double up each rack and get 8 in there, but just depends on the briskets that you're getting. But yeah, the whole goal was to give the market a compact commercial level smoker that is as low maintenance, as high yield, top quality output with the least amount of labor and work you can possibly put in it. It cooks absolutely amazing.
And the footprint is so small. We're going to do it where it doesn't have the base on it, and it's going to just be crazy looking when we put it on a table.
Yep. It's 40 inches wide by a little over 50 inches long and 36 inches tall.
It's got a little size to it.
Yeah. It's still rotisserie. Yeah. Everything grows. Once you start spinning, things start growing. So,
yep.
I hear that. So let me ask you this: when we're talking offsets, most of the guys that I know that are cooking on these big 1,000 gallons and things of that nature, you could have a squared firebox, but it's round in the inside, right? And so they build their coal bed there and put their wood splits in and this and that and the other. You got the air, underneath because it can rest on the walls of the firebox. So my question is this: I do see some out there that are, for backyard use. that do have square fireboxes. And again, we're all about trying to build a coal bed. So what is better, having a square firebox and I don't mean just externally, but also in the inside, or should we be looking for a rounded? Does it really matter?
It's funny that this is actually perfect.
Thanks for asking.
Yeah. Thank you for asking that.
I know some things.
Yeah. So we have in our new pits now, it's something like we've never seen before.
It's the meeting of both, really.
It's the meeting of both in this perfect world. So it's a round cylinder, but we have 12 inches of a square bottom. So you're going to be able to utilize the best of both worlds. The castable bottom is what we use on it. So it's just a marriage of both of them. And what's great about it is with the round nature, you're going to be able to stack 2x2x2, or you can just do 2x2, the Lincoln log. But you're still going to be able to get the air underneath it, and you're going to be able to get your really nice coal bed on that square bottom. And so we've developed that not too long ago, because we were only strictly square bottom, flat bottom. And then we started doing more again, because we're innovators. We're not going to stop. We're going to keep pushing and keep pushing and keep pushing. What I tell customers, and the pit that you get today is not going to be the same pit that you're going to get tomorrow, because we're going to continue to keep moving this forward. And I also think that some people in the industry, that kind of irks them. Like, well, this is the way it used to be. This is the way that it used to be. And, one of the things I've heard many times is, well, the wheel, we can't reinvent the wheel. Well, I say it all the time. Well, the wheel used to be stone, so we can reinvent the wheel. There's a lot of things we can do. And so we're going to constantly continue to keep moving forward. And with this square bottom 12-inch with the round circular 3/8 firebox, I honestly think it's the perfect firebox out. And I'm going to get in trouble for that, but that's okay. I think it is. I really do.
Man, I'm looking forward to seeing that.
Yeah. We got some really cool data coming out too, because I'm a numbers guy. So I don't want people just to take our word for it. I want to actually have data behind it, so we can say, hey, this is actually proven, and this is the stats behind it.
Okay. Looking forward to seeing that, and hopefully getting to play around with something like that in the future. So we'll see. But let's pivot a little bit. Let me ask you this. We got this big push in the barbecue world to really start to bring up the whole live fire cooking. Everybody's wanting to get into live fire cooking, and this and that and the other. And so, what is the M&M contribution to the live fire world? What do you guys got cooking up for that?
Well, it started with El Rey. So El Rey was our first, was and is, even though it's morphed a couple times by now. But we really wanted to build, like, number one, grilling's my favorite thing. I always tell people that backyard. So if people are in love with smoking everything, it was like, more often than not, you're going to go outside and cook steak or burgers or something on a grill. And once you've cooked on a Santa Maria, where you can adjust your rack and it's so easy to control your heat, it changes everything. And it ruins any good steakhouse you've ever been to once you've cooked a perfect wood fire steak. And so,
amen. Amen.
That's was damn sure.
And, we don't like doing the same thing and building the same thing over and over that a lot of people have. And he and I had a vision that I had seen that I'd never seen a grill at all with a cantilever style arms. I'm really big. Like I said, yeah, we'll probably get into it. My background is fabrication and automotive fabrication, sheet metal and structural chassis fabrication. And I love interior design and modern industrial design. And I love cantilever type things. And I always had a vision of seeing a cantilever armed offset where it looked like the grate was free suspended from the top and, all the structure was from the back. So that's how El Rey was born. And we actually had it sold before we even built it. So it got built to go to a restaurant in Dallas, which was pretty cool, but talk about real trial by fire. So, but she's rolling. So
about 90% of what we do is that way.
So yeah, El Rey was the beginning of that. And then El Nino was the like lighter backyard version.
Yeah. We kind of had a choice, and to be honest, that's kind of where we went. We had the choice of doing our backyard offset or doing a live fire El Nino, which is the backyard. And we talked about it long and hard. And I really feel that there's going to be this really big push, especially in Texas. And, I know it's big in California and stuff, but we're going to start seeing it a lot more throughout. In fact, I think most trailered pits are going to have a live fire nature in it. Uh, with all of us, it's just something deep inside us. When you see that fire and you smell that, yeah, it's primal. It just becomes a part of you. And you're like, I haven't met any person that just is sitting next to a fire and just not enjoying themselves. It's just something primal in us that just brings it out. So like for me, I've always cooked with my dad on live fire. Like that was always normal for me. I mean, that, and obviously we'd have rotisseries and all that stuff. I still remember sitting on cold nights next to a rotisserie, the firebox open, and just having fun with it that way. But live fire is what I grew up on too, and I love seeing this just resurgence of it.
Put that little side note in there, as he said, sitting by a fire in the wintertime, not during the summer.
Yeah, I hope not.
I always laugh at people always talk about, or you hear commercials, and summer's here, it's barbecue time. It's like, you obviously do not cook barbecue or outside much if you think summertime is barbecue season.
Facts. I agree.
Everyone that cooks them. Yep, I'm right there.
I want to back up to the backyard rotisserie and the offset. Going from the larger pits, do you think you all had an advantage starting large and then going small? I know sometimes people go small and go large, and it seems to be more difficult, but do you think that put you guys at an advantage?
Yes, I believe so. Yeah, I think with my background in repair and being able to kind of see the inside of kitchens, seeing the backs of kitchens, seeing what goes wrong, what works, and being from, the big pits, that's gave us some knowledge that very few people in the game actually have. This resurgence of barbecue, or this big surge of barbecue, it's still really new. 15, 16, 17 years ago, no one cared about, what we were doing on stuff. I talk to Tim Hutchins all the time about that, because he's been in it for a long time and they're killing it. Hutchins Barbecue, they're murdering it. But we talk about the old times where it's like, man, like, we love it. I mean, we got to see it, the before and the after, I think a lot of it had to do with Aaron Franklin, when he really put craft barbecue on the map, and then it's just exploded. It's gone worldwide, and I don't think it's going to slow down any. But very few people got to do what I got to do. In fact, I was one of the only people in the nation that was traveling around repairing pits, repairing rotisseries. I don't think there was almost anybody doing that. So I got to see things that most wouldn't. And so we took that philosophy from what I saw would work and wouldn't work, Matt's unbelievable engineering and skills that he has. We basically talked about each pit that we did and each thing we did. So that gave us I feel like, a massive advantage.
Yep. And one of the comparisons I use all the time, also from our background, nobody knows, we used to be really huge into reef tanks and saltwater fish and, fish tanks. I did that for like 7 years when I was a kid, growing corals and reef tanks, saltwater fish. But it's very similar. I think the smaller you get with water and with heat and fire, the more fluctuations you're going to get. So a much larger pit and a fire is way more forgiving than a little small pit. It doesn't take much. If you ever cooked on a little 250 or a 100, it doesn't take much with a split that's too big to get a massive spike in an offset, to get way too much heat. So really, like he's saying, the commercial experience of working with giant pits, and especially, I don't know if y'all have seen Zeus, and we're about to be building, I think, 6 of them.
Yep.
Is current to date right now. It's just a massive rotisserie. Like it's if you haven't seen it in person, it's huge compared to us successfully being able to turn it down to the size of a smoker that we can put inside of Zeus.
Yep.
And cook as consistent as we can with like maybe a 5-degree variance constantly. Is pretty big.
So what took you guys from repair to building? What was that moment when it was like, man, we can do this better? I mean, if you can say that, or, let's get our foot into this. What was that moment?
Yeah, I still remember it. Matt was in California. He was building pro touring cars and all that stuff. And I have been told from our customers, Mike, why don't you build pits? Why don't you build pits? He's like, these more than anyone. Like you've been around these, you've been doing it every day. And so after seeing that, and then seeing more kind of builders come up, I'm like, man, I know that we can do this. I've been around this for so long, and I have more insight on these than most do. And I made a phone call to Matt, and I was like, listen, I want to start building pits. I really want to make this transition over, and he, no joke, this is for real. And he's like, I'm in. He's like, I'm ready to get out of California. He's like, I'm ready to get back into Texas. I mean, within, and the funny thing is, in fact, I don't think I've ever told anybody this. And the funny thing is, we were so broke. I didn't have any crazy money. In fact, we have zero backers. We have zero money behind us. I remember telling him, I was like, Matt, I can't pay you California money. I paid him $15 an hour. I was like, that's the best I can do. So he moved from California, building $1 million Pro Touring cars, to come to Kemp, Texas for $15 an hour. And a lot of people don't know as well, Matt slept in the back of that shop for 2 to 3 years too. So this is homegrown, real stuff that we've done here, man. And in fact, I mean, that story doesn't get told nearly enough.
Wow. That's dedication, man. He saw the vision, and it's the rest is history.
Yes, sir.
Yep, it's the same thing as we say. Like he said earlier, I always say is I don't know. I see it as whatever ups and downs we go through, it's meant to be. Where there's no plan B, there's nothing we're not going to forge through, and it worked out the way it was supposed to work out. He called literally like the exact time that I had just started. I had been in California for 7 or 8 years, I think, and I was at the point I was ready to get out of California. It's just Ventura was beautiful. Cost of living's absolutely insane. The ceiling was too low for what I was after and wanted to do. And right as I was looking at really wanting to get out, the phone rang from this cat, and I was like, all right, well, whatever, I'm in. Let's go.
The rest is history.
Yeah, don't threaten me with a good time.
Man, that sounds like something that was meant to be.
And to add even more to that too. So when he came, I was like, we're going to start building pits. And we did. We sold 3 MM1000s before he even got here. But what's also funny about the whole
just
thing
on
is
Mike's reputation.
Yeah, then they did. And I've had a lot of pits sold that were like Mike. I mean, Miller's, Dusty at Miller's, he was sitting across from me. He's like, man, I'm only buying this because I know you and I know your reputation. He's like, but I've never cooked on a rotisserie before. I've never done this. And I was like, I promise you, you're going to love this. I promise you. He cooked on it. He had 2 of them that he ordered immediately within a day, ordered 2 more and got 4 and took every one of his offsets out. But what a lot of people don't know as well is we were building pits, but we were also doing service at the same time. So Matt ran service with me for 2 to 3 years, while we were building pits. So we would go out of town, Albuquerque, New Mexico, Colorado, other spots in Amarillo. And then we would come back and be building pits at the same time. We did that for 3 years. Yeah. He did that for 3 years.
Ripping out fireboxes. But the same thing. It all applied to what we do. It's how our every single update, change, and improvement on a rotisserie was all born out of actually fixing problems on rotisseries in the field. So everything we've done has purpose to it.
Yep.
That was all R&D right there.
Yep.
100%.
Yep.
Good
Live
stuff,
fire
man.
in the field.
Yep.
Well, fellas, we're going to take a little break and pay some bills, and we'll see y'all on the other side.
Cheers.
Cheers.
A revolutionary new grill brush is here, designed to eliminate the dangers associated with traditional wire bristle brushes. Meet the Boyer brush, which will make cleaning fast, easy, and safe. The rust-proof stainless steel spring bristles are designed to withstand failure and last for many years. The Boyer brush is crafted with a heavy-duty, all-metal design that is dishwasher safe. Cleaning your grill with the Boyer brush while hot will provide effective cleaning without bristle loss danger. With a long handle for two-handed pressure that provides rapid cleaning that's easy and safe, it's time to say goodbye to the dangers of traditional grill brushes and hello to the last grill brush you will ever buy. Get yours now at BoyerBrush.com.
We like you to meet Sweet Charlene, the barbecue seasoning created from family bonds that is low in sodium but high in flavor. It doesn't matter if you're a beginner or a seasoned pitmaster. Level up your barbecue game with this dry rub that has amazing taste and great color. Go to EddieWrightBarbecue.com right now and order your choice between the 6-ounce shaker bottle, the 16-ounce bag, or my favorite, the 32-ounce bag, and start rubbing your beef, pork, and poultry the right way.
All right, everybody, we're back. This is the Black Smoke Barbecue Podcast. And hey, y'all, do us a favor. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel and anywhere else that you're active on social or podcast. Look for Black Smoke Barbecue. You'll find us. Give us a like. Give us a subscribe. All that stuff really helps us out. So, y'all, we are here with Mike and Matt from M&M Barbecue. And, y'all, we had Big Mo Kason on a little while back. And he had some high praise for y'all, man. He really loves his unit. We're going to play a little clip for y'all, and we want to get y'all's reaction. Oh, okay.
Hold on. I can't. To me, for all the the pits and all the barbecues I've cooked over the years, I'm all about having consistency and ease of running. And that M&M 1000, I'm gonna tell you, son, she's a cold piece.
What's the one pit that you are never going to get rid of?
My M&M. I'm gonna tell you that right now. I've gotten rid of every other pit I've owned. I mean, Rockin' W was awesome. I had a great pit. She cooked good. She was awesome. But I'm going to tell you, cuz, the baddest pit I've ever owned, the baddest pit, the consistency, the color, the texture. I mean, as long as you do your cook right, M&M. I'm going to just tell you that right now. And they're not paying me to say this. I'm just telling you this as an owner of an M&M pit. It's the baddest pit I've ever owned.
Woo! Wow.
Preach.
Big
High
Mo.
praise from Big Mo, y'all.
Yeah, no.
Oh,
I remember that like it was yesterday.
I have never seen that. Wow. Make my eyes water a little bit. God bless.
You talked to Mo today?
I talked to Mo today, actually.
today.
Man, oh my God. I got to call him up again. Jeez. Woo. Man. I love that dude. That dude's awesome. Man.
Mo's a good guy. Good guy, man. He's a friend of the podcast. We enjoyed having him, man. But
Absolutely.
you had spoke about people ripping out their offsets, going with rotisseries. What has it been like to get people out of offsets and into rotisseries? Is it something that you push, or is it just something that once people get the information, they tend to go that way?
Yeah, we try to be organic with it. We'll try to push one or the other. Rotisserie, but we tell the truth. I mean, we build both, and that's why I tell people that has given us the ability to kind of tell the pros and cons of each, between the rotisserie and between the offsets, and there's just not, if you're doing a checklist, almost every check is going to be on the rotisserie. There's very few negatives about a rotisserie. The one of the biggest is they just cost more. But you're still getting 2,000 gallons in just our M&M 1000. So,
But they don't cost more.
they really don't. It's the exact same price as 2,000 gallons, which is the exact same price of the pit. So
And the biggest point of it, sorry to interrupt.
go ahead. I
It's
like it.
it's an initial price, that sticker tag, that some people get it. And as he said earlier, we don't push it, but do get ready because we're about to really start shooting some real content. Actually, like, really showing the benefits of both and the difference, because everyone knows it is extremely expensive out there, and we are all about solving problems and helping people. And the difference in wood consumption and labor while still getting the same, and in my opinion, a superior food product, you can't even compete with it, in my opinion. So I think the more we can really show people, look, you can still get insane quality food, exactly what you do, and better the more you learn on it, but you're going to use half of the wood that you use in your offset. You're also not going to have to babysit it all night, overnight, for 9 hours. That's labor you're having to pay. All that overhead adds up very quickly. So, I mean, I think it was, speaking of Miller's again, I mean, their ROI on a rotisserie is like within the year range, 2 year range.
Yeah, it's within a year, and that's one of the things that, we let it organically. We tell people that the difference between those. But again, we care about barbecue. I want to make sure that, your business stays open as long as possible, and really tell you the truth, the rotisserie is going to help you do that. It really is. I'd say a perfect pit room has at least one of each. And the thing is that rotisserie can save you if you're doing $1 million. I've had a couple customers crunch the numbers, but if you're doing $1 million, and which a lot of food trucks can do that, you're going to save $18,000 to $20,000 a year. And there's very few things that you can buy, very few things in life that you can buy that pay you back, and that's what they do. It's hard right now. It's hard for everyone right now. And if there's something that we can do and tell people that, hey, this can put out as good, if not better product, and you're going to be able to get money back. And it's so tight for some of these people. Just having that rotisserie might be enough to be able to get them over the hump. And then all of a sudden they just go killer, and they just grow and grow and grow. I have a prime example. I've had a customer that was on the brink of going bankrupt. And now they do millions, more than 10 million, more than 20 million a year. And they were this close to going bankrupt. So sometimes you just need that one thing to get you over the hump, get you rolling, and then you're in it for the long haul, and then it's going. So again, like, this isn't what, Matt was saying, that this is where we're at. This is what we love. And we want to spread that gospel to everyone. And, and rotisseries is where it's at. We love our offsets, but rotisseries is where it's at.
I've seen your rotisseries in action at a bunch of different places, and correct me if I'm talking out of my ass here. Every time I walk past one and they had the door open to the firebox, I see a coal bed and I see one split of wood.
Yep.
And those things are humming. And when I look in anybody's offset, I see a stack of Lincoln logs. And it just makes me think of the savings in wood. And like you said, the efficiency. Al and I were at a spot and they had two of your rotisseries going, and there was one person back there in that kitchen running both, and they would just glance at them from time to time. They didn't make, they didn't need a ton of attention. And so, I've seen that in action, man. And that is a big savings.
With that being said, we've taken a lot of the stuff that we've done on our rotisseries and we've implemented it into our offsets. So we're trying to make offsets, the offsets that you get from M&M, the best offsets, most efficient offsets that you can buy. And we've again, with our double bypass system, with our castable bottom, we do a full castable bottom, 2,500 degree refractory. And like you said, even our offsets, you can get a really good coal bed, add 1 or 2 logs, and that thing will hum. So we're doing everything in our power to even make an inefficient product as efficient as possible. So again, we're innovators. We're not just going to cut a hole in it and go, all right, here you go, and just send it on its way. That's just not what we do. We want to make sure that if you get, whether it's a rotisserie or an offset, or even our El Reyes or El Ninos, that you got one of the best in the game, but a lot of thought goes into it, and again, we're all about trying to save the customer money and solve their problems. And we've put a lot of work in our offsets. I told Matt today, to tell you the truth, I told him this today. I go, we haven't done a good enough job to show people how much work we put into our offsets. And I was like, we really need to start shooting some content on what we've done to our firebox and our bypass system.
Everything that's really separates us, really.
Yeah. Because they're bad bitches. I'm going to tell you. Those offsets are bad motherfuckers.
Hey.
Call them what they are.
Lay it on them,
Say
man.
their names.
Lay it on them, man.
It's after 7 o'clock. The adult language is coming out now.
Yeah, there you go.
A couple of these in me. Now he's starting to talk.
Hey.
Ooh,
Hey,
you got their attention now, George.
Yeah, that's right. My favorites. One of my
So
favorites.
you guys are like mad scientists. When you think about the efficiency perspective and the design perspective, because you guys have really, really beautiful rigs. And I don't know if people know that you guys did a lot of the rigs for the Netflix barbecue Showdown. I did see your brand on there. and I'm a product manager of technology. So can you kind of take me through what your design? How do you approach a design to a new rig? Something like if Netflix calls you up and say, "Hey, we need this for this segment of this season." How do you guys approach that and make the most efficient and really eye pleasing a rig that you can?
That's actually a super funny story. I got to give a shout out to Rashid.
That's exactly
Thank you,
how it
Rashid,
happened.
for hooking us up on that. But Matt's probably going to tell you this story about how all that happened too with Netflix.
Yeah.
And how fast we were moving on it.
That's funny you said that, but if Netflix calls you and said we need this, which is exactly how it happened. And anyone understands like the fabrication world and build world and custom world, timelines are insane. And we had the opportunity. We sat down on, a conference call with Netflix, and they sent us a couple emails, and this is what we want. We want 2 fire tables. They wanted a big old burn barrel. Like we built 3 other pieces of equipment that you don't really even get to see on the show, but they kept them. And if they do, I don't know. I think they're casting, but if they do the next season, you'll probably see some more stuff. So there's more stuff we built that y'all haven't even seen yet.
Wow.
But it was a very quick process. They wanted 2 fire tables, like a cone, like Christmas tree kind of tower to cook under, a silo. I don't even remember the other one right now. But and so we're like, okay, cool, man. This is awesome. Like an opportunity to be on Netflix. And what's like the timeline when y'all need this by? And, mine, we have an 8-9 month, 6 to 8 month lead time on offsets. We're booked probably 11, 12 months out. Like, oh, we need it all in 6 weeks. I'm like, so like, shit. Okay.
Wow.
All right.
That's
Well, I
quick.
guess so. We had to have a quick meeting behind closed doors. Like, are we going to take a swing at this, or are we going to pass on it? It's hard to pass on something that gets 15 million views in the first season.
Right?
Matt was adamantly against it, by the way.
I was against it.
He looked at
Why?
me and he knows me. He knows me so well.
I already knew
at
he
me.
was going to.
Yeah.
I had no say in it. I could say no. I already knew it was going to happen. So.
He looked at me and goes, "We're doing this, aren't we?" And I'm like, yeah.
But it's
Good decision.
It's funny. It gets a little funnier because we actually surprised all the producers because we knew, I know we're in the shop and we know what it takes to design and innovate because it's not just you don't go out and just throw something together. A very vital part of our business is a saying we always say, which is functional aesthetics, which is you're getting to. Form and function is absolutely first, but aesthetics is incredibly important to us. We have a very raw, industrial kind of modern feel to it. It looks really rough and rugged. Everything looks like it means business, but it does mean business. So the form and function is most important. So that's kind of where the design comes from. It's a real industrial feel, but literally the second day I was already concepting after that call and it already ripped out a prototype. We got on the next call with them and showed it to it. And they're like, holy shit. You've already built the prototype. We haven't even got this approved yet. And I was like, you told me we have 6 weeks, buddy. I'm already firing out prototypes and drawing CAD drawings.
Oh man.
We were like, slow down.
Yeah.
We were like, no, we're speeding up. We don't got time. Sitting here playing
Nobody
this
must not
game.
know about us.
Yeah.
You are not my only customer.
Yeah.
Go.
Hey, you call the right ones because we rolling. We ain't got time for all that.
No lollygagging around here.
No.
We don't play around. Yeah, we had to do a few modifications, but very few. And then they called us up and they're like, these are amazing. These are amazing. Everybody on the show has been wonderful. They've reached out to us and it was just the response on the trench that we did. And there's a lot that didn't even get on the show.
One of the coolest pieces, they barely even showed it all. Yeah. I hope they do it next time. This is a really cool open, multi-level fire table that has 6 levels on it.
Yeah.
It was really cool.
Which they told us that they're keeping it for the next shows, and we're like, damn it, we want that back.
Man,
I already had plans for that. I was like, oh shit, that we're gonna play with that thing.
Mike said that's going in my backyard.
Man, you'll just build one bigger and better.
Yep, pretty much.
I was gonna try to put those short hair lambs on it.
Nice
luxury
callback.
lambs. Yeah, luxury lambs.
But I'll tell you what, if you do that, I'll come over there and help cook with you, brother.
Hell yeah.
Oh, snap.
Oh shit.
But I tell you what, looking at some of these other pieces, like your El Nino and whatnot, I'm like, I'm a Braves fan, man. And so to see you guys make one that's got the Braves logo on it and everything, I'm like, hell yeah. So I just look at that and I'm like, I know, Black Smoke Barbecue, I'm gonna still say we're in our infancy, stage, but I can see a Black Smoke Barbecue grill made by M&M and at our Black Smoke Barbecue festival, I mean, fellas, am I
Say it
wrong
louder.
there?
Say it louder for the people in the back. Say it louder.
Say less. We're gonna make it.
Oh man, I hope we do. I can't wait till we get to that day because, man, I'm telling you, there's a lot of pit makers and fabricators out there that make some phenomenal products. But the attention to detail, man, that you guys put into, what you make, you are not half stepping at all.
No.
I appreciate that a lot. That means a lot.
Yeah. We put our heart and soul into everything. I mean, in every build, every day. I mean, we don't take Saturdays off. We work. I mean, we appreciate that.
Yeah, no problem, man. We definitely see it.
The stuff y'all have been doing, like Alton brought up, the stuff y'all been doing with the major league ballparks, man. Those things are so damn beautiful. I wouldn't want to cook on them, man. No, so, a question on that: how do you keep those things looking nice? Because they're not buying those for show; they're buying those to crank out burgers and dogs.
Yeah,
and I know they're using the shit out of them.
Yeah. Even the Rangers, though, they shout out to Chef Chris. I was doing repair work. I've known him for since 2017, doing repair work for him, and that's what got our relationship going. And that's what was able to get us in for our first rotisserie there for the World Series. So we got to go to the ALDS, and World Series.
He's the executive chef for the Texas Rangers. For anyone that doesn't know who Chef Chris is.
Nice.
He's been, I think, 20 years plus in it, and he came, same almost Netflix thing. He called me, he's like, cause it was supposed to be for the All-Star game, that rotisserie. And he called me, he's like, I think we might make the playoffs, Mike. He's like, is there any way we can get this done? I'm like,
again, when do you need it? In 6 days?
Yeah. So I had to call up Matt going, we got to get this done fast. And sure enough, and then we got to go to the World Series. Our pit was at World Series. I mean, these are things that I never in my life would have ever thought that we'd be doing, especially, at this pace, getting to work with the Texas Rangers. And then this last one that we did for the All-Star game, Nolan Ryan actually was very involved in that too. And I mean, I watched Nolan Ryan. I'm from Dallas. I mean, he's from Dallas, Nolan Ryan, Texas Rangers, that's our childhood.
Everybody's seen Nolan Ryan punch Robert Ventura in the face. So,
yep.
Oh,
yeah. Tell your age.
But yeah, and then we got that, and then the Atlanta Braves jumped on, and it's just been really Delaware North. Shout out to those guys too; they've been wonderful, and we got one coming. I think I can say it. We got one coming in San Diego as well for the Padres.
A few other stadiums.
What y'all did now?
Oh yeah,
I want to know about the candy paint job. Man, I remember the first time I saw one of you all pits on Instagram, and I was like, this thing looks like a freaking car. What was the thought process behind that? And I mean, shout out to that. I mean, the colors are so vibrant. Like I said, it looks like a car.
Hey, that gold. That gold tee. Oh my God.
If Pimp C can see it now.
Man. Pimp C would be proud of y'all, man.
Yes, he would.
What? We trying to make him proud. I love the candy. Matt always tells me, that's what we do different. I like the show. I love the candies. I love the brights. I love the clear coats that are super shiny. That's just my jam. I love that.
I'm a raw fabricator. I like raw steel, satin, matte finishes, but I like gloss stuff too. I look more toward the satin matte finish, raw steel look.
Yeah, those things are beautiful.
Pink job
man.
y'all did with the El Nino. That pink, it was the pink.
Chef Ryan's.
Yeah, there you go.
That's going out to like the Bay Area, San Francisco.
Yep.
That was awesome. My wife is she's been wanting me to get a pink pit for the longest time.
I know a guy.
And I'm like, we'll have to make it happen one of these days.
Yeah, what's really cool too about that is his brother had cancer. So, you know, and like that's the thing that a lot of people don't see, that there's a lot of backstories to almost each build, you know, and that's what's really cool about that. We've got to know Chef Ron Scott for a while now. I still remember the first time me and him talked. You know, and you get to learn more about each person and their struggles and what they're going through, and they become family. You know,
Absolutely.
Anthony at Swig and Swine. What happened is Asher. You know, you grow more. It's not it's not customers. It's real family. You know, and barbecue is a family more
Absolutely.
than anything. That's what I think. What I love about barbecue the most is it brings everyone together. It really does. You have a few outliners, but man, it brings people together.
You know, and that was kind of our thing, is that, you know, while we gravitated to the pink pit, you know, we, with her, battled breast cancer.
Yep.
And we're winning. And I went through colon cancer again. We're winning. And so whenever I talk to, you know, fabricators, I'm like, you know, man, I would love to see, you know, even if it's for a raffle or something, but I would love to see just a pink pit that's all tricked out for breast cancer awareness, you know, or something like that. Cause I mean, obviously the meaning behind it, but just an opportunity for you guys to just go all out, man, and just show what you got.
Yeah, that would be really cool.
Yep.
We're into all that stuff. We love that. We love that. We love that.
You can see, if you want to see a giant monster pink one, look up Brothers.
Yep.
In New York.
Yeah.
New York. We did bright neon pink and black MM 2000 rotisserie that got craned up.
Love it.
In New York. Yeah, it looks killer, man. Yeah,
I love it. I even get asked, would you cook on a pink pit? I'm like, hell yeah.
No shame, right?
No.
Still cook the same.
Yeah, I'm off.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Oh man,
I learned a long time ago. I don't care what people think. I'll pick pink, purple, blue. I don't care. We'll cook on it. If it works, we're rolling.
Man, I hear that. You know what? I'll drink to that. Cheers.
Yeah, cheers.
Salud.
Salud.
So, what was your most challenging pit build of all the pit builds that you had? The unique designs that you may have had to come up with Netflix, the very aesthetically and we may at some point call them in the near future call them legendary designs that the legendary pitmasters have. What was your most challenging of all of those?
Either Vocations or the Rangers. The Rangers had so much. I mean, the thing that people don't know about the Rangers one is that one actually has the exact same stitches that an actual baseball has. So we looked up how many stitches does a baseball have, and we replicated that on the pit. And that one was tough because it was double back too. So we were sitting there and it was so thin, it was trying to bend on us. So putting that up, I would say that was a tough one. What would you say?
I was gonna go with Hutchins rig.
I knew it. That's where we're going. Yeah.
Hutchins trailer rig.
Yeah.
He wanted everything on it.
Yep.
So that's a full blown from scratch custom trailer with a
hog cooker.
That was the absolute first model that we switched our new counterweight design to a bearing one lift finger door design. Brand new firebox. We put the first Mark 1 design development of our first direct heat hog cooker on it. It's got a full blown 4-foot El Rey Santa Maria grill on it. It's got a burn box on it. It's got waterproof wood storage on it, electric jack.
Yeah.
That was a action pack one. Fit like the clearances, just the counterweights.
Yeah.
The counterweights to clear the top to the hog cooker, like things people have no idea is like a 1/2-inch swing that it just passes just perfect. And it's like the time to put in to fit and how to locate it and then design the hog cooker around it to fit the slim trailer. That was an action pack one.
Yeah.
Shit, y'all made the Mach 5 over there.
Look, I got a follow up to that. Now, I've seen all these great pits that you have. Are you waiting for a TV network to pick up like a reality show so you guys can have like one of those, behind the scenes building these pits like they did with the choppers back in the day?
Come on.
Yep. Come
Okay.
on. Yeah.
All right. I can see that happening.
We've been talking about this for years, because we are, the American Chopper got so big. We're just like the American Chopper, except for we build stuff that lasts for a long time. No disrespect, but
I was gonna say, pew, 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 pew.
Orange County people going to be calling in.
Yeah. Polly video
Good.
pissed on me.
But hey, Paul, come on with it.
I'm trying to get that damn Belize money. So let's go.
So y'all got it all, but the dysfunction, right? There's no dysfunction.
Hey, we already said me and him can figure out some friction. We'll figure something out.
Make it good for TV.
Chairs, that'd be fun.
Yeah. But no, we talked about that for a while. We feel like it's coming because every single build we have, man, it's up against the wire. Like literally the same. Like a lot of people think that some of that stuff's fake, and like even like with their show, it's not, because that's what we do. Big Mo Cason, when he picked that pit up, I swear to you, I was still working on that pit. It was 6:30, 7 o'clock at night. We hadn't even fired it up, did nothing at all. I was still trying to figure out the last details of it.
And that was for Memphis in May.
That was for Memphis in May, the biggest event, and he's been trying to walk the stage. He literally picked it up from us without being tested, without nothing, and went in, and he walked for the first time in 7 years, for the first time ever. I think he's been doing it 7 years, maybe 10 years. And he's cooked on every other pit, but the first time he cooked on an M&M, he walked the stage on an unproven pit. He's never even cooked on it.
Unseasoned, never cooked
Nothing.
on 240. Yep.
And we literally still do that. I still remember me and Matt, 2 a.m. painting pits up there with the bay doors open. And I still remember looking out one day, and I don't know why. Maybe I was super appreciative this night. I don't know why. I was exhausted. Maybe that's what it was. And I was looking out, and I was looking back in the shop, and it's hazy as hell. And I'm like, man, this is some badass shit that we get to do. And one day we'll get to
tell you what, if you guys hadn't checked out the episode where we had Big Mo on, the clip that we played earlier was just a very small piece. He really loves that M&M smoker.
Yes.
Yeah, and I'm gonna invite you guys to definitely go check out that episode, because Mo had a lot to say that day, and it was a great conversation. And I just think, man, everybody, should enjoy it just like we enjoy going through it.
Yeah. I'm on it now.
Yeah. We're on it.
I'm on all of it now.
Yeah. Yeah, because man, that was really awesome to hear him to say that. That guy's been cooking for a long time, and he's had a lot of pits. A lot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So,
and he was speaking from the heart, man. He meant that.
Yeah. I'm not lying. When I heard he walked, I'm telling you, I almost cried for him, because supposedly it was, he was really emotional. Rashid was telling me about it. Pops was there too. Kevin Bledsoe was there too. And so I was right there with him, man. I was so fucking pumped. I was at another event.
Yeah, we were at Troubadour Fest at A&M, and he's on the phone all night.
All night with him. I'm like, it was just really, man, it was just awesome.
That's good stuff, man. Well, fellas, we're just about to the end here, man. We do appreciate y'all taking out the time to come and hang with us, and hopefully we get to get y'all on again, man, and talk about some of the innovations and new stuff y'all got going on, man. But tell all the folks where they can find y'all, man.
It's M&M Barbecue Company, pretty much across the board. Our YouTube is M&M Barbecue Company, Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook.
Yeah. And it's just MM, not MN.
Yeah.
M&M BBQ Company.
Yeah.
And
cool.
My page, if y'all want to see that and a little background fabrication, is M&M BBQ Fab. On Instagram.
Good stuff, man. We'll put all those links down here in the description, so as folks are watching, they'll be able to click on all that stuff and find y'all. And fellas, we're gonna wrap up and let the folks know where they can find all of y'all. We'll start with T from T-Dub Barbecue. T, tell the folks where they can find you, bro.
You can find me at tdub.bbq on all socials, and it's tdub-bbq on YouTube.
My man. Alton from the Dog Fathers Barbecue. Al, tell the folks where they can find you, bro.
Yes, sir. Hey, that's the Dog Fathers BBQ, DAWGFATHAS BBQ on all socials except for X. I'm not on X. Everywhere else, get at me. You can reach me also at Gmail, the Dog Fathers Barbecue at Gmail. And you'll also find me on the Pit Boss YouTube channel on a playlist called Backyard Bosses, as I do cooks for Pit Boss and just trying to get more people out there cooking. So come check us out.
My man. Charlie from Maverick Barbecue. Charlie, tell the good folks where they can find you, bro.
Everywhere you see the name Charlie Maverick, and I am also lurking in the Black Smoke Barbecue podcast comments on YouTube. Sometimes Instagram causing trouble, so y'all make sure y'all follow us.
He said lurking.
Just lurking.
I heard causing trouble. I'm all back.
How do I reply to this?
sounded vicious.
Kind of stalkerish.
Just a little bit. I wake up in
Mike,
the
he don't
morning.
look like he causing any trouble, do he?
Nah, not at all.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Hey, it's only stalkerish if you fight back, Charlie.
Oh Lord.
And everybody, you can find me at BKC Cooks across the board, except for the Twitter X-Bird joint. I don't do that, but everywhere else you can find me and my luxurious mane. Look for BKC Cooks, and we will be there. So, y'all, this is going to be it for this episode. Again, we want to thank Matt and Mike from M&M Barbecue for making time. We know they could have been building pits, so we do appreciate y'all jumping on, fellas. And y'all, this is the Black Smoke Barbecue Podcast. We are out.
Peace.